And we're live!
We're back!
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm Wes, this is David, and together we might equal a whole human being. Okay. Barely. Just barely.
You're gonna have to shut down your audio. There, and we're back. Wait, is it me? And
nope. It's your, I think your audio's.
It was my audio.
Yes. And there we go. You were actually muted for a second, so the world didn't hear that.
Oh.
His combination of both of our audios were messed up.
Yeah. All right, do your finger countdown thing.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half. And we're live! Welcome to the Underdog Journey.
Back.
The world can finally hear us. We're true professionals every single day. I'm Wes, this is David, and welcome to the Underdog Journey, as I once said. It's gonna be one of those kind of shows tonight. That's what's happening right now. It's gonna be one of those kind of shows.
Yes, it's it's a little different doing the broadcast remote. I'll be in town on Friday night to be in Central Ohio to do a broadcast side by side. But
yeah,
when we do, when I do, we'll make sure we can get to the local watering cantina and definitely take part. So, important stuff first.
Yes. It's all about priorities.
What are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, I am drinking out of my Hofbrauhaus Stein as usual, since we can't be at our main location, the Hofbrauhaus. I am drinking Lemon Glow. It's a citrus pale ale from Land Grant Brewing.
Okay. I like Land Grant.
Yeah, they make some good stuff. It's pretty tasty.
That's good. That focused in real good. That focused in real well.
As a backup, I have the Troganator. It is a double back from Trogs Independent Brewing.
Yep.
Get that focus.
Yeah, that was struggling a little bit with the light. There it goes. You got it.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a tasty one, but that's stronger, so that might be better for later. I'm not drinking multiple growlers of beer as a flashback to last week.
Oh, sweet mother of Jesus. It was a long walk. Last week was before we actually got our new bedroom set delivered here.
Yeah.
So we had been using the guest bedroom, and we set our stuff up in there and set up the guest room. So all I had to do was I didn't have to go to the stairs or anything, but I just had to make it from this corner of the house to the other corner of the house. And after the volume of beverages that I had that evening, cold snacks, that was long enough. That was far enough. It was quite fun getting from A to B on that one.
Yeah, in your new house, you have a lot further to walk now. So
yes. So the other day I was downstairs and somebody had left the lights on in the basement, and I was playing dad, walking around the house, turning off all the flipping lights everybody left on, and I happened to see the light down in the basement. Now the basement is just freaking massive. It's the entire house is the basement, and I get down there, and there's like 14 or 15 or 16 lights down there to cover all the space.
You have a basketball.
And I'm down there, I'm turning them all off, and I'm walking up, and then I'll walk off and do something else. Then I'll walk back all the way upstairs. And I get up there, I'm like, wow, you're fat, Dave. And it was like, gee, many Christmas, this place is, I don't know about whipping me into shape, but it won't hurt.
There's your workout, walking from the basement to the second floor. What do you got?
On the note, we only got one this week. I was very, very adamant. I was only getting one growler of beer.
Okay.
Two's just too many for one person to sit and drink by themselves. So this is actually a beer called. Now you can tell the style or type of brewery that it comes from.
Yep.
Because while I don't like IPAs, it's just not the beer for Dave. They do come up with some really snappy names for IPAs.
IPAs have the best names. It's true.
They do. And you can't, the only way you know that it's an IPA is because the name is outlandish.
Right. It'll be something.
Yes. So, otherwise, typically it'll say, something porter, or this stout, or XYZ's lager.
Right.
But this place makes a lot of IPAs, and this is not an IPA because I'm not an IPA guy, but it's called Daylight in the Swamp.
You're right, and that's the thing about IPAs, because
You have no idea what the
you'd have
heck
no
you're
idea what
getting.
style it is just by the name.
Yes.
Yeah, because if I had to guess just by the name, Daylight in the Swamp, I would say like a stout, because swamps are typically dark, deep.
I would have went if with that name, I would have went either a stout
Okay,
or possibly a sour.
why is sour? What
I
about
don't know.
swamp says
I feel
stout?
like I'd have a sour attitude in the swamp. You put me in a swamp, I'm not going to be a happy person. I'm
I
getting
love the
eaten by
swamp.
mosquitoes. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes and black flies. There's bitey little things, and there's just not enough dragonflies in the world to take care of that stuff. No,
Okay,
but it is
fair point.
actually, and I'm drinking it out of an appropriate glass here too. It is actually an amber.
It's an amber. So
It's an it's a good malt forward beer. Um, Nicely toasted. When I took the sample of it at the place, it actually didn't look
yeah.
as red as this, but got it here, and when I poured it, I was like, "Wow, that's a lot more red." And the foam, it
Hmm.
had a really nice, rich, thick foam head on it. Pretty good beer.
Yeah.
Pretty good beer. So and it comes from a brewery here near Brewerton, New York, which is a little north of Syracuse,
Hmm.
called Hot House Brewing, and the place is cool as could be. My wife blends in there a lot better than I do. She's far more hippie than I am. So they had some good wine. So I got her a shirt. They had some shirts that help that benefits people with eating disorders. So I bought her one of those shirts and a bottle of wine while I was there too.
Nice.
So she was happy. She was happy this evening. Well, I mean, it's happy for 5 minutes with me. I'm sure I've done something to piss her off since then.
Of course, of course.
Yes, but to a couple of moments of dead air.
There you go. I'll drink to dead air.
Drinking the dead air is a good thing. So we don't have a guest this week. It's no hot dog show. Let's see.
Hot dog.
Last week was our 50.
Today is actually National Hot Dog Day. Is that why you said that?
Yeah,
It is actually National Hot Dog Day. I don't know if you knew
it's
that.
National Hot Dog Day.
It is.
I actually talked about having hot dogs for dinner tonight, and we ended up making homemade pizza subs instead.
Close enough.
Yeah, hot dog pizza subs, same thing. With pepperoni on it. We'll go
Well,
with that.
technically, pizza sub it's a sandwich, right? And technically, I don't know if you knew
Hot
this. Hot dog technically counts as a sandwich,
sandwich. Yeah,
which I actually
sandwich.
disagree with that, but it's what they say. Are you a hot dog as a sandwich or not a sandwich person?
I've never given it more than the thought that you've put in my head in the last 10
See?
seconds.
Now it's going to haunt your dreams.
Probably won't. The amount of gray that's coming through in my beard, that might haunt my dreams. But whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not, it's not even going to be on the radar.
Well, David, I think we've crossed the stream into getting old because not only are you getting gray, you're also talking about walking from room to room, turning off all the lights because your damn kids left them on.
Damn kids. Damn kids. All the time I turn around here,
Do they leave
leave
the
the
door
doors
open
open.
also and say you're not
Leave the
cooling
door
the
open.
neighborhood or heating the whole
Leave the
neighborhood?
door open. What trying to do? Cool the outside too?
Exactly. You're officially an old man,
So,
David. You know what made me feel
uh,
old? You know what made me feel old? I watched the trailer for the new Jackass movie, and first of all, watch the trailer because it's hilarious. But look at how old those guys are getting. Johnny Knoxville's like all gray.
yeah.
A guy named Johnny Knoxville is all gray. It's crazy.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we're old. We're so
Over the
just
hill.
buy the box, throw me in it, and be done with it. Sorry. So
Yes.
before the show, in the last week, um, yeah, Laura L. Lyons Black says, that sounds familiar. Yep. I'm a grouchy old guy. Turn the damn lights off. But last week, as everybody remembers, the sun kept creeping up and up and up until it was just blasting me in the face.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go and get curtains and stuff to handle the lighting in here. Well, I was really busy this past week, still getting settled into the house.
Hmm.
So there's a blanket up over half of my window here. So the neighbors must think we're really high class at the moment.
Just putting blankets in the
Um,
windows.
so it's just hanging up there, and I'll take it down when we're done. But as you can see, I got part of the office done here in the background, so
Yeah,
a little bit better than
great.
the bland wall.
Your studio looks awesome.
Yeah, it's getting there. This is where I do most of my, well, it's where I do when I'm home working, this is where I do all my work from,
Mm.
and all the calls I take, and that stuff's all behind me there. And the wife, she liked the guitars without the straps on them. And I'm like, no, I want them with there so I can just pick them up and play anytime that I want. And I've got the amp setting over here. I got
Right.
the positive grid Spark amp, so it's a bias amp, and I can just touch an app on my phone, and if I want to sound like AC/DC, just click a button, boom, I've got the AC/DC sound. If I want to sound like Metallica, hit that button and right into Metallica. It's great, great little setup I got in here.
Yeah.
And, so let's see
Yeah,
here.
those look awesome. Look good.
William Elkins, we're starting to sound and act like our fathers.
It's true.
Yes.
Put that up on the screen.
Yes.
We are.
I embrace it fully. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, so I was talking to another dad at the park the other day when I walked my kids down there, and we were talking about work ethic and whatnot, and I realized what I'm saying is exactly what my dad would have said on this subject.
About us.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yes.
oof,
Yeah.
boy, I'm old.
Heck yeah.
So,
Well, they weren't wrong.
you know,
Every generation, the next generation is full of idiots. We're just happen to be more right than others.
well, you know what also got me thinking too is, okay, so there are certain extended relatives who, I'm not going to mention names, who sometimes need help using the TV remote because a weird thing will happen and it won't work right. And of course, myself or my wife will, help out and figure it out. And it makes me think, how far will technology advance by the time we're that age that there's going to be something that's a daily use item that we won't know how to use?
Yeah, what your grandson, get in here and help me with the replicator.
Exactly, exactly.
God, I hope we have a replicator. Get on that, science people.
Science people, figure out the replicator. I'm waiting for the AR contact lenses. Because the day that I don't have to have a laptop right in front of me and it's all right there built into my eyeballs, I'm good.
Oh, wait for an update on that one. You're blind for 7 hours.
Yeah, it's all we need.
Connection drops and it just shuts off your vision.
Well, I told you my retirement plan. This is my actual retirement plan, so I hope somebody's working on this for them just to pluck my brain out, stick it into a robot body, and I'm good to go. That's my retirement plan.
All righty.
So I'm working on that.
Looking forward to the what is it they call that?
Cyborg, when the cyborgs take over the Earth.
Well, cyborgs, yeah, but there's a unity singularity.
The singularity.
Yeah.
Well, the singularity is about AI. When AI reaches the point to where you can't tell the difference between it and a human anymore.
Yeah, I've told you we've been over. Wes and I have been on this road many times. Wes is on the
Look,
robots will take over,
look.
and I'm on the. I'm sorry, a robot can't decide to turn on a light switch if a room is dark.
Well, not yet.
Unless somebody programs it to do so.
Yes and no, because all it needs is, see, here's the thing. Humans, I don't think, will develop the machine learning that's necessary for true AI. However, the machine learning that picks up, that can algorithmically notice patterns in human behavior and develop a new algorithm on its own, that computer will develop true AI that understands contextual conversation and contextual behaviorisms that right now it can't do. I don't think a human's going to design it. I think a machine learning AI will develop true AI. And that is what's going to take over the world.
And pluck West's brain out.
Look, we're already living in the Matrix anyways. Even Elon Musk says it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in the end, what does it really mean?
Matrix number 4 is coming out.
Matrix number 4 is coming out. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I want to see what I think I know some of the premise behind it. The whole Matrix series took place inside of the Matrix, but I mean, even if that's the whole thing, and I knew I still want to watch it.
Right. I mean, I think we're all kind of secretly hoping they don't ruin it because the first one was amazing, and they gradually kind of went downhill from there. But the way the third one left off, I kind of like the ending, even though a lot of people hated it. So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So we have agendas for this evening, correct?
Yes. So, last week we had on Jenny
Colson.
from Jenny'sPleasureBus.com.
So
That's gonna
we
be
ended up with
fun.
three websites for it. It was Jenny'sPleasureBus.com.
Which is a joke, by the way. She's not going to call it.
Yes, we're going to continue to call it that. She's not going
We'll
to call it
continue
that,
to
but
call
we
it,
are.
yes. Jenny from the
JennyFromTheBus.com
bus, and
JustBussin'Around.com.
right. So we're going to set up a landing page for her. We're going to build in blog functionality. We're going to show her how to embed YouTube videos. It's going to be a great thing. So, but how that leads into today's agenda is, the bus that she got. She basically bought a bus, and she's going to convert that into sort of a vacation, sort of
Pleasure bus.
not pleasure bus, but leisure bus. She called it, right? And this is actually a pretty healthy niche. Like, there's a lot of people who do this and spend money and research online, and it's a whole community of people online who convert these buses into these sort of little, like, not even necessarily RVs, but little traveling homes. And think of it, it can be like a living room or even a tiny home on wheels. And people spend a lot of time and effort in this. And what she wants to do is build a business out of it. And whether that takes the form of doing a lot of online content or selling courses, she's still very open to a lot of different ideas that we're going to work out with her. We're going to have her on in the future and kind of discuss these things. But it got us thinking, you can turn any hobby into a business. It doesn't matter how crazy, batcrap crazy it is. You can do it. Because anything can be monetized, no matter how tight the niche is. There's somebody somewhere who's willing to pay to figure out how to do just that one thing.
My Little Ponies, all dressed up as Batman.
Look, hey, bronies are a thing.
There's a group.
I don't know how or why, but bronies are a thing.
Oh, I don't know the term, but I'm just putting two and two together there, and that doesn't sound cool.
Yeah, Google bronies, and it's not even
not doing that, West.
No, it's nothing. It's not even anything like.
Bill Elkins says sleeping is his hobby.
Sleeping is a great hobby. So one of the things that
no, we're old now. We don't call it sleeping. We call it napping.
Nap.
Old guys now, Bill. We're napping.
It's true.
We're just resting our eyes.
I'm not napping. I'm not sleeping. I'm resting my eyes. That's what I tell my kids.
Just resting my eyes
while I snore.
Yes. Almost instantly. I drop off. I sit on the couch. I drop off, and she's like, my wife, the moment your eyes click off, your snoring clicks on.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Yes, I have reached the peak of my life.
Remember the good old days when we used to have insomnia? When, like, you'd be up because you can't sleep, no matter how hard you try? Oh, now it's like, the second you shut your eyes when you're old, you're out.
Gone.
It's gone. It's all over.
Gone.
I think part of that comes along with having kids.
Yeah. They're quiet. They're in beds. They're probably not digging a hole to China. So,
right.
Yeah. When they're up and moving around, and if they're quiet, there's no peace. You gotta go find out what's going on because they're up to something.
See, that's how your kids are different from mine. When my kids are quiet, this is no joke. When it's quiet in my house, my kids are literally in the next room reading books.
My kids are in the next room trying to assemble a tactical nuclear warhead.
Well, my son's probably mansplaining. I guess it'd be kidsplaining to a random stranger how the different species of cephalopods behave.
Oh, yes.
Big nerd. My son's a big nerd.
Demonspiders.com.
Exactly. Oh, that reminded me. There's a trailer. Oh, what was it called?
Demon Spiders.
There's
Attack.
I saw a trailer on IMDb. I think it was called The Nest. The Nest.
The Nest.
And it's about like these little demon spiders that come out and like attack people, and they possess this little girl through this teddy bear. And the bugs that they use for the real life critters are the vinegaroons that my son was telling you about.
Yes.
And I'm like,
demon spiders.
And it's funny.
So
it looks a lot less.
Those of you in Hollywood, if you want to
to
actually promote this video of this movie correctly, you need to buy the demonspiders.com for me, so you guys can promote this video.
That's true. That's true.
I'll sell it to you cheap.
But you got to admit that movie seems a lot less creepy when you realize what they actually are and that they don't actually hurt anything.
No. Nope.
Nope. Not for you, huh?
Not for me. Demon spiders.
So if we got,
I don't care. I
So
don't
if
care
we
what they
got a
do,
bunch of
what they don't
these,
do.
vinegaroons and amblypidgets and said, David, stick your hand in this bowl full of demon spiders, you wouldn't do
Oh yeah, I'd probably do it. I mean,
it? See, exactly. You know you would.
but I'd do
People would
that if
say
there were
no, but I
actual
know you
spiders
would.
in there too. So I don't know. I just really don't care. There's so few things that can actually harm humans. So I mean, you're like, hey Dave, stick your hand in it. Was this bear? And I'm gonna tell you no. That can actually do some damage.
Right.
But even a black widow spider, I mean, it's not death. It's not going to be fun, but you
Right.
can
So if
survive.
somebody had a black widow spider and said, David, hold this black widow spider, you'd do it?
Oh hell no! We'll kill that snake. But I don't live. Some people live in fear of things like that. With spiders, are always worried about that,
Yeah.
or what's out there, a snake bite or something like that. And then what do we have in the U.S.? We have copperhead and rattlesnakes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
We do have.
I'm not going to go looking for them. I'm not going to go looking for them, but the vast majority of snakes are not them, so I don't really worry about it too much.
Have you heard of the YouTube guy named Coyote Peterson? Have you heard of this guy?
No, I have not.
So he's actually a pretty big YouTuber, and he lives right here in right up in Westerville.
Okay.
So right over near where you used to be, where I am now. And one of his big segments on his YouTube channel is getting stung and bitten by all these, random, most painful bites and stings in the world. And
Yeah.
we got to get him on our show, especially since he's local. And maybe we can do a challenge of who can take what sting or bite.
Yes. For every sting or bite he takes, I'll take a drink of beer.
There you go. That's
We'll
fair.
see which one of us lasts the longest.
Who passes out first?
Who passes out first?
But
again,
we were way off subject.
Wait, we had a subject? Oh, yeah, we're converting hobbies to business. Now, see, on the other side of that coin, bringing it back around,
Yeah.
I am a fan of if you have a hobby, if it's an actual true hobby, leave it the F alone and let it be a hobby. Now, if you want to develop something into a business or you want to do something as a hobby, we have said this since day one. If you treat a hobby like a hobby, if you treat your business like a hobby, it's going to cost you like a hobby because we all know hobbies aren't free. Hobbies don't make us money.
Right.
They cost us money. So know that you don't have to take your hobby and make it a business. You can let it be a hobby. It's going to cost you money.
Right. It will.
Don't ever be that guy that's like, well, I can sell XYZ of these and that'll fund the cost of my same hobby. Well, it's no longer a hobby. You're trying to make a business out of it. Now, if you treat it like it's still a hobby and you don't try to leverage it, it's going to cost you twice as much.
Well, so you got to look at it the other way. You got to look at that the other way around too, right? So if you're starting a business, no matter what business you start, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Now, would you rather spend that money on something that you like doing, or something that you already know is a tried and true viable business?
Well, it depends on what I want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I have, it all depends on what you want to do. If I have, like, this is, I play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Not very good. I'm not going to get into a band. I'm not going to go jamming across the country. This is not going to happen. So it costs me back here. And I don't plan on ever saying, hey, let's go on the road west. We're getting the band back together. It's 600 miles to Chicago. We got a half pack of smokes, full tank of gas. It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses.
I play a mean tambourine.
Excellent. See, but we're not going to do that because, I'd rather let that stay my hobby.
Sure. And that's another part of it too is, when you actually start to monetize this and it's your job, it might not be fun anymore because then it's an actual job. But
that's what you got to watch out for.
But we really have two competing sort of quotes here, right? We got one on this hand. It says, treat your business like a business. It'll pay you like a business. Treat it like a hobby. It's going to cost you like a hobby. But on the other hand, we have the old one, much older one, which is find a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Never have to work a day in your life. See, that's kind of where I fell in. I found what I absolutely love to do.
Mm-hmm. And you're great at
it. And so even a bad day at work for me, like today was actually quite a bit of stuff going on. But almost zero stress for me
Hmm.
because, oh Lord, I was thinking of West and a tambourine.
Shannon Black.
I was reading Shannon Black. He's got you covered.
Just
But
wait. Just wait.
so even on a day when it's really busy for me, it's not. Some people go to work and it's work. It's what they do for work, or it's what their career is. It's what they do, not necessarily who they are. But what I do is who I am. So I don't have to worry about, oh, I hate this. I've got to find something new and change my life all over. I actually looked at doing other things. I mean,
Mhm.
at many other things. And after really digging down into it, it's like, I'm not going to like any of this stuff better than what I do now. I loved what I did before,
Right.
and I really love what I do now.
Right.
So I don't,
So, so this doesn't
basically
necessarily
never
apply.
have to work a day in the life.
So this doesn't necessarily apply to you though. But think of all those people who are working nine to
Yeah.
five, and maybe that 9 to 5 pays pretty well, and they're actually pretty good at it. But they just dread going. They wake up in the morning and they have to push themselves out of bed because they have zero motivation.
Yep.
But in the
Yep.
meantime,
I
they
knew
come
somebody
home.
like that a couple years ago. Just
Mhm.
freaking up and left his job.
Yeah, but but
He
they do.
worked for
They
he
have
worked for a Fortune 500 company.
yeah,
It was soul sucking was his quote exact words,
yeah.
and he just left.
And
Like,
corporate
I'm
jobs
done.
can be that way. So for people who've worked on their own for a long time, or have been their own boss, and then they go into the corporate world, you see that a lot where they just their their soul is just gone after a period of time because they just it's a different structure. They just don't have the same
Yeah.
freedom. They don't have the same ambitions anymore. It can be literally soul sucking. It's nuts. So
Yeah.
this might not necessarily apply to you, but there's a lot of people out there who are thinking, man, I gotta do something, and
Yep.
they there's something else they want to do, and they may not know what that is yet. But so here's the thing: 2020, it taught us a lot of things. One of the main things it taught us is job security is kind of a myth, because
There were a lot of people
oh
out there who thought they had job security,
yeah,
and then they sat home.
right overnight, a lot of
Yep.
big companies laid off a lot of even high level people, just out of nowhere. And what you actually saw over the course of a year was not the birth, but really the massive growth of what's being called the gig economy. You know,
Yeah.
if you
Gig
ask people
jobs.
in 2018 what's a gig job, it sounded like somebody's playing in a band
Yeah, you're in a band.
bars in the evening. Like
That's a
that's
gig.
gig, right? Or if in 2018 if somebody had like a job driving for Uber, or in
Mm.
an educational tutor, right? Something like that. You know, a lot of people would look at him funny and say, "Are you okay in your job? Do you need some help financially, or is everything okay in your life?" Versus now, a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a really smart thing to do. You're diversifying. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket." So, 2020 really changed a lot. And what you tended to see was people who were the most successful through 2020 were those who could pivot and find something, if not something they loved, something at least they could fall back on. You know?
I thought about doing Uber because A, I
Yeah.
love to drive.
Yeah.
B, I love to meet people, and C, I'd love to take all that money and buy car parts.
Well, it's funny.
Hashtag Lingenfilter. Send me stuff.
So there's this guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name. He did an experiment where he did Uber for like 12 weeks, and he put in the hours. He put in a lot of hours, and he only did it for 12 weeks. But at the end, he calculated that out and ran it over the course of a year, and he would have made over $100,000
Nice.
just driving Uber. So I mean, it's definitely doable. I'm not suggesting anybody work that many hours to earn that much money, because look, money's not everything. It's about happiness in the end. But having a backup, having a fallback, especially if it's something that you like doing and something where you really have true interest,
Yeah.
I mean that's gold. That's money in the bank.
Yeah. If you can develop that into your career,
Hmm.
and then you end up like me. You don't have to go to work.
Right.
I don't have to get up. Tomorrow I have to get up and I have to go meet a client earlier than I would normally get out of bed. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go and do that, and even that's no big deal because I'm going to go and do and talk about the things I love
Yeah.
and the things I love to be involved with. So I mean, it's going to be a great time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
So on that note, the place where I got my beer tonight, the Hot House Brewing Company. This place was founded by three, three, not two, three high school buddies.
Okay.
Three high school buddies, and it's kind of they don't have to go to work,
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
and their passion provides me tasty amber red beer, and I'm drinking it out of the Alaskan amber glass, which is why I said it was appropriate.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know whether I'd say I prefer the Alaskan amber over this beer. I would say I would put them in two.
Oh, you still there? You- Oh, we lost you for a second. You still there?
I'm back.
Okay. You put it in two what?
Okay,
You put that beer in two.
there we go. No idea what happened, but it did pop up. Hey. So no, I'm drinking it out of the Alaskan amber glass.
Yep.
Am I back?
You're back. Go ahead.
I'm still good. Okay, we're back. Okay, so I was saying I don't know that I would categorize these two together, even though this is an amber beer, because the Alaskan amber is such a good definition of an amber beer. So I mean, this one's up there with it. So it's appropriate to drink it out of this glass.
I'm not sure what this has to do with three guys starting a company.
Oh, they made this delicious. Maybe I was cut out for that. So, and I thank them for making me. They go do what they do every day, and they love what they do to provide me this tasty beer.
That's a fair point. Now look,
There we go, and we've come full circle.
On that same note, how many times have I tried to convince you to quit your job and you and I start an agency?
Many, 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 many times.
Exactly.
Many
Exactly.
times. One of these days it will probably work, but it will be when I feel that I'm done and I can't do any more in the life safety industry.
Oh, which is never going to happen, and I'm fully confident.
I don't know.
That's fine.
I don't know. We'll see. I work for one of those big companies now, so I don't foresee them wringing the life out of me because I have a lot of autonomy. So
look,
as long as
I also tried to convince you to go full bore and buy out the owner of the last company you're out and just run the whole company. So
that was actually a much closer thing than what anybody knew.
I believe it.
It was that probably would have been. So wait a minute, we got Matt Hamlin on here. He goes, I love wrapping cars, and so far it's great financially. Now I have seen his work online. I've seen in some videos from some competitions that he's done as well, and I'd love to talk to him about it because I thought about wrapping my Corvette, and I'm watching him do it. Like, I'd screw this up so bad.
If I could beatbox, I totally would have chimed in right there. So Matt Hamlin, is this your business or do you do this for a company? Do you think he does this for a company or is this his business?
Well, because there's a bit of delay, so we got to get the delay for us to see it.
It's a whole thing.
To speak about it, then the delay for him to hear it, and then the reply. So it could be
a whole thing. It'll be a minute before we get the reply.
Trying to dawdle just so we can see if we can get a reply from him. But I know he used to work for a company. I don't know. I think he may have left that. He owns his own business now.
It's his own business. So Matt, we're going to have you on to talk about your business. We're going to get
there he goes. Matt, you should have known that was coming. If you didn't, that was your own fault.
Well, look, hey, shameless plugs.
We love to talk people about who are growing their businesses.
And
we love it.
So here's the thing, Matt. The only thing is, we require you to wrap our cars in the most ridiculous things possible. And here's what's really funny is for us, you and I, Matt, to borrow David's car or his truck without him knowing, you wrap it, we put it back in his garage, and he goes out and sees the next day, and it's all like pink and polka dots or have Barbies all over it. That'd be hilarious. And your business is called Fidelity Mobile Wrapping Solutions. Great. That is awesome, Matt.
Fidelity. That makes me want to invest. Deal. I just require payment. And that's how you run the business.
Exactly. He's not running a charity.
Good man, Matt.
He's not running a charity here. I get it. So Matt, we'll get you on the calendar, but we got to talk about your business. That's a cool business. I like it.
We used to say it all the time: is we don't need the practice.
There you go.
We're the professionals. We don't do this as practice. I'm all for that. So we'll go places, and occasionally some people like, here, have this. It's just on the house, and I will actually flat out turn them down. Oh, I'll just take care of this for you all for free. Don't worry
Hmm.
about it. Because I look at them and say, that's not how business works. That's not how business goes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's, I encourage people to, charge.
Here's
As
the
the wise man, the Joker from Batman,
thing.
once said, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Well, and here's the thing. So it's a delicate balance, right? Because when people are looking for a job at first, and nobody will hire them because they don't have experience, and they say, "How do I get experience if nobody hires me?" Well, what you do at first, you give it away for free to get as much experience as possible, and you get as many referrals as possible. You get as many people talking about you as possible. But once you have that experience, you can't give it away for free because you need to charge what you're worth. And the
Yeah.
second you start dropping your price, especially dropping it to free because you're helping some,
Oh,
guess what you just
I
did?
hate discounts.
Guess what you just did though? You lowered your
Devalued your
value.
time.
You devalued your product.
Yep.
And
So
yeah.
I am absolutely dead ashamed that I'm going to use this as a reference. Oh my God.
Hey, what
Okay.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
So the wife used to watch these shows about people making clothes and stuff. And there was one with Tommy Hilfiger that they did a whole thing about.
Hmm.
And I'll sit in the living room reading a book or on my phone, YouTube and Facebooking, whatever. And this is a while ago. And there were two teams, and they did like custom Tommy Hilfiger stuff, and they were supposed to sell it.
Hmm.
The team that made the most money won. Well, one team went out and did a pretty good job, turned a decent profit on it, sold it at proper amounts
Hmm.
of money per item. The other team lost the key to the truck and took them forever to get to the location where they were supposed to sell.
Okay.
So what they decided to do when they got there was sell everything for five or $20 or something like that, and just flat out ruined
Right.
the value
Yeah.
of the thing. And I remember Tommy Hilfiger specifically calling them out, going, "If this wasn't
Hmm.
based solely upon how much money," and they ended up making more money. That team won.
Right.
If it wasn't based solely on how much this was, you could tell he was like, "I wish I could go back and change this because you guys screwed up so badly
Yeah.
by devaluing the product to win."
Oh yeah.
So
And
you won the battle, you lost the war.
right. And that's one of the really interesting things is there's a psychological value to your product as well. Because
Mm,
when you devalue something, when you give it away for free, especially if it's an intellectual property that people they could read about, or you could sell them an ebook or something, whatever. They don't value what you're offering them as much, and therefore they won't take your advice as much. They won't implement
yep.
your product as much. They probably won't even use your product as much. But the second that product value is high, and they actually gave something of value in exchange for that product, most likely a good deal of money, the more they pay for that product, the more they'll value it, and therefore the more they'll take care of it. If it's advice or business strategies, they will value that advice and those strategies so much more than they would otherwise.
Yeah. So just yesterday on this topic, which actually wasn't in any of our agenda, by the way,
Yeah, no, none of this.
but this is working out very well, especially with this about the value of your time and the value of an item. So everybody knows I wear the short. It was 2 weeks in a row I had that shirt on, one of my Cletus McFarland shirts,
Good.
and I love his channel. I love what he's doing down there in Florida. It's a real good thing to watch. If you haven't checked him out, you gotta go check out Cletus McFarland. Buy some merch from him, cletusmcfarland.com. I think he's got baldeagle.com now as one of his websites to
That's a
take
good one.
you
That's a good
to
domain.
his website. Yeah, it's a great name. He paid a lot of money to get it, and he made a comment about it. But anyway,
I believe it.
they had an event down there in Florida, and he did a pricing error on the tickets, and they were priced way too high.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, we're sorry about that. We're giving the tickets away." Now, nobody was able to go online and buy massive amounts of tickets. You had to buy,
Hmm.
like twos and threes, maybe four at a time or something along those lines, but they were free.
Right.
So they sold out in minutes.
Hmm.
So they sold out their capacity. They limited to the capacity of their seating arrangements safely. So they did that. And then come the day of the show, less than 50% of the people who bought the tickets, free tickets,
Right.
actually showed up. They had no skin in the game.
Right. Guess who came?
So
People who paid money for those tickets.
if you'd have paid money for tickets, you're going.
Yeah.
So let's say you get something for free. You look outside, you're like, well, it's a little overcast. It might sprinkle a bit. I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I paid $50 for these tickets. I'm going. Unless they throw me out, I am staying. That's what
right.
you do. Right now, Metallica. In case you guys don't know, the two guitars directly behind me, the white one and the blue one there, those are both from the Metallica collection. One's the Iron Cross from Jim Hetfield, the other's the White Zombie from Kirk Hammett. And then I've got Angus Young's SG over here, and then almost every country star ever. I've got the Martin on the end.
There you go.
But anyway, Metallica is coming up on 40 years right now, and there are tickets that are going the 40th anniversary show that I am desperately trying to get a hold of. So it is kind of right now, I think the lowest package I'm looking at is like $1,700 or something. And I will drop that in a heartbeat. And then I got to pay for flights and everything out to San Francisco to go to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I will literally do it in a heartbeat to do that. Now, if I was given that ticket for free,
right,
and I'm like, man, I gotta spend another $700 to or $1,000 to fly out to freaking San Francisco, and then I have to deal with San Francisco.
Right.
Yeah, you might decide not to, but you throw down a chunk of change on it.
Yeah,
you're going.
That's exactly right. So Matt Hamlin mentions that's why he does a 50% deposit, and that makes perfect sense too. Look, when somebody puts down money for this product, not only are they valuing it, they're anticipating getting it, and when they get it, they're going to use it, and they're gonna love that product for every penny they spent on it.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I'm not really.
I actually thought about getting my Corvette wrapped in black.
You should get it wrapped so it looks like Lightning McQueen. That'd be cool.
Okay. I mean, actually, to be honest, I would do that.
Right? That's kind of cool.
It'd be kind of cool, yeah. I could be all right with that. My wife, I mean, being a Disney fan, she'd be okay with it too.
Right.
So anyway, back to our agenda.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how we got onto the value of a product, but that was a good.
I don't know, but it worked out well.
Right. So let's see. Again, you hear.
Where's the click?
I don't know. But anyway,
finding what happened. We talked about it was the gig jobs that set us down that path.
Yeah, and that's the thing is not too long ago, just a couple of years, people would think there's something wrong with you if you had a gig job versus now, it's considered smart and it's diversifying your income. So it's amazing how much changed over the course of a year. Yeah. So that comes down to, what are you interested in and how do you turn that into a hobby, right? So this is kind of a double-edged sword because there's a lot of people who know that there's a lot of usually younger people who are very interested in starting their own business, but don't know how to start, don't know where to begin. So, you'll see a lot of people taking advantage of those people. You see a lot of like Instagram models who are these really abnormally beautiful people, men and women, saying,
here's more.
Saying, hey,
you can purchase my online class right now for only $9.97 for a limited time only. Operators are standing by.
Right. Or even if they have like free content, it's usually just, hey, start an Instagram channel and you get to travel the world and take beautiful pictures and people pay you money to do it. In the meantime, it's like, if I look like you, then I could probably do that. But not all of us are that.
Not everybody can look like me.
Right, exactly.
Not everybody can look like me and just be, boom, ticket punched, done.
You know what would be really...
Literally, they come up there like, Mr. Leffingwell, right this way.
You know what would be hilarious is guys like you and I, who are shaped like you and I, we should make an Instagram channel where we reenact these photos of these really beautiful people in these beautiful locations, but it's like us instead of this like perfect model of a human being. Hilarious. Nobody actually ever wants to see it, but I'll bet a channel like that or an account like that would actually do pretty well.
Actually, what we were talking about during the countdown, I think that is probably one of the best ideas that we have come up with in a long time. I think we were talking about a possible idea for a show. We won't go into it in detail, but it would. I mean, both of us have looked at things and go, I could do that. we see somebody do something, or this
Right.
this level, this tier guy appears doing something, or this, and we look around and go, I could do that. And it's just all right. How well would we do that kind of things? Like it's dirty jobs, but not quite.
Right. And yeah, so what got me thinking of it is, I pretty frequently, and I'll admit it's really naive to say or even think that. You see these amazing giant mansions of houses, and you see these people driving around, and today when I was leaving my office, I saw a brand new 2021 Bentley sitting literally right out front,
Nice.
and I think to myself internally, I don't know what this person does for a living, or I don't know what that person who lives in that mansion does for a living, but I'll bet if I stepped into that job, I could figure it out pretty quick. I'll bet I could do that. Now think if there were a channel or a show that this was the person's job, is just to travel around to these amazing, usually probably pretty difficult jobs, and step into it and see how well they do. Usually they'll probably get put on their backside, but that'd be fun to do. Tell me you wouldn't watch that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I was just sorry I had to Google there for a moment. You said Bentley, and I'm like, ooh, I bet it was a Continental GT.
Yeah, I don't know
I love the Bentley Continental GT. It's a gorgeous car.
Boy, it was nice.
But Matt Hamlin, he made a good comment. It's actually something that I've heard too. He says, I've always heard you'll never get rich working for someone else.
And you know what? In a lot of cases that's true, because
Yeah.
I've thought it myself. When I've worked for these big national corporations, where I'm thinking to myself, I'm making fair money. I'm doing okay. I'm in a
Yep.
really good position in life. But at the same time, there's always that thought in the back of your head that it's like, I'm working my backside off so this other guy can make a lot more money, and that guy
Yep.
above him can make a lot more money. You're working your backside off so somebody else can get rich. But you know what? When you boil it down, that's always going to be true, unless you're selling your own product. Because, like, say you have your own marketing agency,
Or Matt Hamlin opens up his own brand of Matt Hamlin Cosmetics.
You know what? Looking at his Facebook profile picture, I'm not sure I want to see him wearing any kind of cosmetic.
Is it the one him in the dress?
Well, it's him and a young lady, but look, I'm sure Matt Hamlin's a nice, fine-looking man, but maybe without the makeup.
That's him in makeup. You said it was his wife. That's him.
Oh, he's the young lady. Oh,
Oh,
well then
he's going to hunt us both down
nice-looking
now.
guy with a kind of a scruffy beard. And
No. He just sounds like a horrible idea. No.
But he has a good point though. So you're right. You know what? In a lot of cases, in most cases, you'll never get rich working for somebody else.
Yeah.
You look at guys. I know these are terrible, end of the spectrum examples, but look at guys like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. They went out on their own. They blazed their own trail, and now look where they are. They're literally flying themselves in outer space. Now those are extreme examples, but you have a lot of smaller end examples too, where people, they have a hobby, they have something they really love, they monetize it, they're doing something they love, and look, they may never fly themselves in outer space doing it, but guess what? They're the richest person in the world because they're happy, and they wake up.
Matt Hamlin's watching this with his wife because his comment was, "That's my smoking hot wife. She is definitely better looking than me." Good job. That was the proper answer.
Exactly, Matt. Very good answer.
No doghouse for Matt tonight.
Nope. Well, I doubt his wife watches this show, but she may. We don't know.
She's part of the 50 million that watch us every week.
So Matt Hamlin's really engaged tonight. He mentions another great point. He hears Elon Musk lives in a tiny house, and that's true. He actually rents.
It's actually, I'm going to say that he's on a space camp. It's actually partially true. He does actually live in a very.
Now,
actually, let me rephrase that. He actually rents.
He rents the tiny house he lives in. Now, I'll bet he probably owns some pretty nice places too. Shannon Black, I need a hot girl on my show. Don't matter if she's a fisher.
Doesn't matter if she can fish or not. I guarantee my views skyrocket.
Yeah, exactly. And look, so I'll just say nice aesthetics tend to draw bigger crowds.
Eye candy.
Look, aesthetics. It's
shiny. The guy used to work for us. What he used to say. He'd say, "Shiny objects."
There you go.
Shiny objects get your attention. It doesn't. It can be a shiny object of, hey, we got the brand new Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G super megapixel phone. Or we can be like, this here's, what's that fishing girl's, Hannah Barron, who is a lovely noodler.
Right. Now, and so that's a slippery slope. So I know we're off another tangent, and it's a slippery slope to talk about because
We've never done that before.
because you don't want to diminish somebody's accomplishments. If somebody is like
Yeah.
ridiculously beautiful, male or female, whatever, and they have a really successful YouTube channel or Instagram,
Like
you don't
Matt
want
and wrapping cars.
you don't want to diminish all that they've achieved because they probably and most likely did work really hard to get there. But at the same time, if there were somebody who looked like you or I doing that exact same thing, it might be a slightly different uphill battle.
Harder sell.
You know what I mean?
Different sell. Yeah.
But you can't really say it
Yeah.
without sounding like you're just whining and complaining.
I just say use the tools you got.
And that's exactly it, too. You got to use the tools you
That's
got.
it to me. Go
Which
for it.
brings us back to our main topic. If you monetize your hobby, you already love what you're doing. You're probably already pretty good at it because that's your hobby.
Yep.
Use the
Yep.
tools you got. And that's what it comes down to. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, you'll hear the people selling a course, taking advantage of people who don't know where to start with monetizing themselves. And what it does is it leads to like a really deep cynicism of working on your own, of being your own boss. You're like, somebody else trying to sell me some piece of garbage that I'll never use. The advice is terrible. And at the end of the day, you're back working that same 9-to-5 job that you probably hate. So really, where do you start? It doesn't start with paying some Instagram model, you know, $9.97. It's always $9.97 or $9.95 for this, you know, this course. It's a waste of money. So where do you start? And, you know, it leads me to, I've had the same conversation with a lot of people where they say, I want to start my own business, but I don't know what to do. And I inevitably ask them, what do you like to do? And you'd be surprised how often I hear, I don't know. I don't really like to do anything. Which you know that's not true, right?
That's a hard thing to sell right there.
Yeah, exactly. And you try and pull it out. I'm like, there's nothing you like to do.
I'll sell programs for $995 a piece, teaching you how you can sit at home and do nothing and make money while doing it. After you pay me my money first.
Yeah. So in an upcoming
because
episode,
I love to sell.
Yeah. Well, in an upcoming episode, we're going to do fake online gurus, and we're actually going to show some of these ads that they post, and boy, some of them are brutal.
Flex Seal. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually a pretty good product.
But you know, so when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, what your hobby is, even if you don't have a hobby, there's something you like to do. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't know, I like to watch TV, or I like to nap. You're telling me that there's nothing else you like to do, nothing else you've
you'd like to get out and go and get your hands on.
Right.
There's no DM that you'd like to go carpe. Come on, man.
Right. Well, you know, it really comes down to they've never really thought about it before in that way. So what you need to do is you need to really stretch your imagination, right? It comes down to asking yourself some pretty important questions, right? So you need to ask yourself,
what's your favorite color? What's your name?
I mean,
what's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
That's a great movie reference, by the way. That's a great movie reference, by the way.
For those of you who don't get it, I'm sorry, you don't get it.
So, and those who do get it, you're welcome.
You're part of our peeps.
So you know, so you need to ask yourself, you know, aside from watching TV, what do you like? What do you like to do? Is it comic books? Is it baseball cards? It could be anything. It could be a good memory of, you know, on Saturday mornings baking crepes with your mom. Guess what? You have an interest that can be monetized. You know, do you have any skills besides watching TV? You know, what are you good at that some people might need help with? You know, you really got to watch
TV. Let's say that TV is your thing. TV is your thing. You love watching TV. Start writing down your review of it and become a critic.
There you go. Do reviews. You know, and not only that, not only do reviews. Once you write some reviews, talk to other reviewers, collaborate on their reviews. And look, you're not going to
do a reaction video.
Yeah, you know what?
People love reaction videos. Gee, even at Christmas,
do reaction videos. You know, start a podcast. pull out your phone, start a podcast, which you can do on your phone, and contact the writer and say,
I'm Dave, that's West, and this is the Underdog Journey.
yeah, and contact one of the writers of your favorite show and say, hey, will you come on my
Yes.
podcast? Guess what? In a lot of cases, people who probably shouldn't say yes will totally say yes to coming on your podcast. It's surprising people hear that and they still say yes. But you can turn any hobby or interest. It's just a matter of dedicating yourself to say, look, it might take me a couple of years to monetize, where I'm in a comfortable enough place to monetize, but you can do it. So,
Jenny Carlson says,
oh, Jenny's on. Hey, Jenny.
Is it, if you have something you love to do, is it mating roly-polies in your basement?
Ah, that's a good callback, Jenny. Look, these guys in this aquarium right here, we got those from Russ Wilson at Aquarimax Pets. And these are
we had him on the show.
Potato bugs, isopods. Yeah, he was a guest on our show not too long ago. And these things have not stopped mating for days. Literally days. I mean, they will just, it's kind of weird when my kids come down and like they think they're attacking each other and you got to explain, no, they're just playing. These are the... Matt Hamlin. This is a family show, Matt.
Comment of the night right there.
Matt, this is a family show.
Oh,
those of you listening on the podcast weren't able to read that, but Matt.
I'll tell him.
You, buddy.
Matt, for those of you who listen on the podcast only, Matthew Hamlin wanted to know that how did West hold them still? Oh, dear Lord. Oh.
You're banned from the podcast, Matt. You're banned.
Random inappropriate comment maker. Crack open a nice cold Bud Light. Cheers.
Between Matt Hamlin and Jenny Carlson on her pleasure bus.
Oh, well, let's see. So, the TV thing, I mean, there's something you can do, the passions and things. So I have a cousin who they love, her daughter, they love to do the whitewater rafting, kayaking thing. And they, for them, this is not on their radar at all. But for them, I would just say tours. Just touring people through. So you're literally leading people through doing what you love to do at $9.95 a pop, of course.
Totally.
Whatever dollar. Still, the moral of it being there's something there. You have a bus you want to convert into a travel mini home or leisure.
Leisure, not pleasure.
Leisure.
Leisure bus, not pleasure bus.
Leisure. So I don't know. I guess it's all the British shows I watch and I say leisure. But anyway, I love Bush Latte.
So.
But anyway, you can make those hobbies into your and especially the more niche down it is, and we've talked about this in the past.
Right.
The more niche down it is, the quicker the turnaround on that will be.
Right. Like we mentioned, Jenny Carlson and her leisure bus. The website that she's going to go from and all of her channels are just bussing around. So check out her stuff. It's going to be a really interesting, bit of content that she produces. But the leisure bus, I guess you'd call it, niche is really strong. There's a lot of people who look online and search and do research and buy things associated with this. So that's actually a really healthy niche to get into. And once you can find a good, healthy niche or niche, it's not correct, but it's a lot of people say it. There's money to be made. And it doesn't matter how batcrap crazy your idea or interest is. I promise you, somebody out there has something very similar that they've monetized in the past. And here's the great thing. No matter what it is. Since somebody else has already done it, do your research, Google the heck out of it. Don't say, oh, somebody else did it, so I can't do that. No, here's what you do. You look at what they did, and you say to yourself, how can I do it better? Yeah, they're doing this, but you know what? If they change that, man, it would do so much better. Guess what? You got yourself a business idea.
But wait,
there's more. Just buy our course, Underdog Journey, for $997.25, and But honestly,
We'll tell you everything that we're telling you for free online, but we'll do it specifically to you, and we'll do it all in our radio voices.
right. And you know what? One of these days we may actually do online courses. I don't know. Because you know what? If you do them correctly, they're not shady. There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people are more than willing to pay the money for the answers up front instead of listening to 2 hours, people babbling. They can just get the answers laid out for them.
Hey, who you say is babbling?
Certainly not
Is
us.
it us?
Certainly
It's
not
us,
us, or the
right?
guy who
It's
drank
the
2
answer's that
growlers
question.
over the
The
course of
answer
an
to that
hour last
question's
week.
us. Yeah, dude. Okay, so the after show. This is something that I think I want to start doing. Is our
Yeah.
after show is inviting a couple of the guests out there that come on the show and interact with us to the after show.
Yeah.
And instead of it being like what you used to do, we used to do what we call the Underdog After Dark, and it was broadcast online as well. I don't think we're going to do that. I think what we'll do is bring them on just as a group in a Skype
In a private.
team,
Sure.
in a private Skype type thing, and just shoot the breeze with them. They can answer any questions, get direct answers in real time. You know what? If they need to find out how you hold the roll pill still, then they can ask that question.
Well, you know what the funny thing is there are a lot of people who already do this, but they put that sort of thing behind a paywall, and they say
Yeah.
they call it a mastermind, where it's a small group, and they will literally go through with other experts and say, here's exactly what you need to do, here's exactly what I do, and just detail every single little thing in these mastermind groups. And a lot of people make a lot of money in these masterminds.
Did anybody remember West earlier saying that you give away some of your best stuff for free at the beginning so you can charge for it later?
It's true. I'm sure a lot of people have heard me talk in the past about a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, but he runs a
Gary Vaynerchuk. That's like a boyfriend. What are you talking about?
Gary. But he actually runs a private group with his marketing consultancy, and
He calls me every Tuesday.
And what he does is he charges $10,000 to $15,000 per person, and it's a small group of less than 10 usually.
That'll do it.
And look, he makes a crap ton of money on top of other things, but boy, this mastermind group, there's a lot of money to be had. But back to the subject, it doesn't matter how crazy your idea is. Somebody else has already done it. And again, don't look at his competition.
Wacky, wavy, inflatable arm men.
Well, and look, say that's your interest. Say you love wacky, waving, inflatable arm, flailing man, whatever the
advertising droids.
Say you love those things, right? You have your favorite ones. You have your favorite technology. You know about the fans and the motors that make them work. You know about the fabric and the sewing that makes them go. You know about the best, X, Y, and Z of the product. Well, guess what? That's your interest. I'm sure you have opinions on what's the best. I'm sure you have opinions on how to improve it. Guess what? That's your business idea. Shannon Black, I'm sure you have your opinions on the best fishing lures, the best fishing poles. Guess what? Why don't you make one?
Make a fishing pole or a fishing lure, or a show about the best, a review of them.
Why not both? Because guess what?
I'm thinking, why not both? Why
Exactly.
not do a review of XYZ,
Exactly.
and then have your own line of fishing gear?
Exactly.
Actually,
Factory.
I know a guy who makes fishing lures in Central Ohio.
Well, we both know this guy.
Is it Dick?
No, you know a different guy than I know.
All right, we know two guys then.
Yeah, I'm talking about Seek Good River. He actually started making.
You don't know Dick?
I don't know. I don't know Dick. I've been told that before.
No, this actually the company's name is Dick's Lures, and he makes them literally by hand.
Well, so Seek Good River, we've had him on the past about his product.
Yeah.
He actually makes handmade custom lures out of silverware, out of like spoons and forks and stuff. So he actually makes these himself. So look, the funny thing, and even if you want to mass produce these things, find a factory in China or someplace where you can do it very inexpensively. Have a batch made up, you sell them. You already have your channel made up where you talk about these things. Jenny and her leisure bus, right? Here's what she needs to do. She needs to make a blog talking about this stuff, a YouTube channel, continue on with her Instagram, which is great, by the way, just bussing around. And at the same time, she could create a series of online courses talking about the ins and outs and X, Y's, and Z's of upgrading these buses, or she could do sponsorships where she can get
Upgrading
sponsorship
the
money,
buses,
or she
the locations
right,
where you can park these buses
yeah,
on the road, tourist sites that are accommodating to the
hmm
buses, restaurants that have good parking to allow said buses.
right.
It just goes on and on and on and on
It's,
of
you know,
what you can
even
do with that.
right, and
Team
hypothetically,
up with AAA even.
and look, hypothetically, she could even talk to Matt Hamlin and say, "Hey, wrap my bus and put your logo on there. Give me a sweet discount. I get a sweet looking bus. Guess what? That's a sponsorship. She just got her whole bus wrapped for a fraction of what it would have cost."
Yeah,
Now, Matt, I don't want to
but
undercut your product. That's your choice.
we're
I'm
not
just
giving
saying,
your work away,
right. I'm
but
just saying hypothetically, she could do things like that.
yeah, absolutely.
So, but again, it doesn't matter what your crazy interest is. You can monetize it. Now, again, the tricky part can be what's your interest? That can actually be the most tricky part. And there you have to use your
Yep.
imagination. And don't just think about stuff you like now. Think about a great memory. What's your best memory? Do you have a memory of your dad and you wake up on Sunday mornings and you go fishing and you had your favorite lure? Or, you had a hobby with your next door neighbor where you made, I don't know, pies. Whatever. I'm just making crap up.
I do like pie.
I like a pie. I'm just saying.
I like a good cobbler too. A good cobbler.
I haven't had a cobbler in years. It might have been since high school that I had a cobbler.
Oh,
Nobody
gee,
makes cobbler anymore.
So you had cobbler the last time we went fishing.
It was made out of real cobbler. They chopped up a shoemaker.
Chopped up a little shoemaker there. Oh man, a good cobbler. I mean, if anybody wants to make us a cobbler and send one to New York first and then one to Ohio, that'd be great. Man, I could go for a good cobbler.
See, whoever makes cobbler, send us some cobbler. We will take.
Yeah,
we'll take. Food.
We'll promote
Payment.
we'll promote your work through my belly.
Look, if anybody has a home brewing business they'd like to turn into a real business, we'd love to talk to you and drink your beer.
I Anybody wants to talk to me and drink beer, I'm on for that anyway. Now, see, Lauren L. Lyons Black jumps up immediately with blackberry cobbler. What I gotta tell you, blackberry cobbler's low on my list of cobblers.
What's your favorite?
Now, Shannon Black says he makes a mean peach cobbler.
What's your favorite cobbler?
I like cherry cobblers and apple cobblers.
Okay.
And, I take a raspberry, but that's an even harder one to make. It's not very common. But blackberries are some of those ones that just, to me, blackberries are the wolves in sheep's clothing. You're like, good blackberry, good blackberry, good blackberry, tart as hell blackberry. Good
I like those tart ones. I prefer the tart ones.
You would.
I do.
What's happened to your hair?
What?
I don't know. I'm making stuff up. Come on, man. Go with it.
I don't know how we started talking about cobbler. Laura L. Lyons
Black. Tip of the tongue.
Laura L. Lyons Blackberry. If you make me a blackberry cobbler, I would love it, and I would give you a big hug for that cobbler. So Shannon Black, I'll take the peach cobbler, but I'm not going to give you a hug. I'm not going to hug Shannon, but I will take the peach cobbler as well. So with that said, what if somebody made a business out of baking cobbler? You could totally do this, and guess what? You could make a YouTube channel, Instagram, an entire social platform.
I'm going to GoDaddy.com right now.
But no, you could create an entire social platform just around cobbler. There's a YouTube channel that I found that I really like, where this guy left his job at Disney. Oh, hang on, we got guests. Hey,
do it.
Come on.
Which one do we have here?
Yeah, we have both.
Oh, we got the little boy.
Maybe bedtime.
And the little girl must be close to bedtime.
I have my favorite bunny.
That's your favorite bunny.
We got new stuff.
Oh, that new thing is cool.
That's cool.
I got.
What is that?
And
Is that the Hold Your Demon spiders?
I got.
Wow, that's so neat.
Hey, I got the little puppy.
You got a puppy?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They had their first swimming lesson today. They learned how to swim today.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We have a pool. They can come and practice.
And I teach how to swim in my back and put my head underwater.
Yes, you did.
Cool.
I don't want.
Did you get water in your ears?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like getting water in my ears. I got to shake my head like this to get the water out.
Shakes it like a dog.
Like a dog.
Okay.
All right, guys. Say goodnight.
Night. Night.
Oh, that's a fish. I thought you said you got a dog.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, buddy. Mm. All right, good night, guys. Have a good night. See you later.
Come on.
All right.
All right. And hold on, I gotta buy this on the website.
There. What are you buying?
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Cobbler.com.
Oh, it's better than that. Looks good.
Shannon
going.
likes lovely kids. Thanks, Shannon. I agree. They're okay.
All right.
Luckily, they look like their mom, not me. So they really lucked out on that one.
Literally just said 1 year, not 5. You tool. Come on.
Go Daddy. Pull it together, Go Daddy.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
What'd you buy?
I just bought. It's cobbling time.
It's cobbling time. Nice.
Oh, I love it.
You know what? I should turn that into a real thing. I should actually start posting how to make cobbler videos from a guy who doesn't know how to make cobbler. But no,
I like it.
So where I was going, there's a guy. I gotta find his YouTube channel that I actually really like it. Where he actually left his job at Disney. So in 2020, he was furloughed from Disney. He went home, and just for fun, he started this YouTube channel where he makes food from history. Like, he'll make food that was, from ancient Rome or ancient Greece or, wherever, from all throughout history. And what he'll do is he'll explain the history of this food and how it's changed, and he'll make it according to, the historical recipes. And he'll try and explain it and all that sort of thing. He's actually really entertaining. And he got so successful over the course of a year that he left his job at Disney to do this YouTube channel full time. And he just did this because his hobby, his fun thing to do, was, cooking and talking about cooking. So it doesn't matter what it is. You can totally do it. I'll bet a channel that's really well done, a series of online channels, and a product go along with it that's just about cobbler, I'll bet it could do really well. Or if you are a cobbler, if you like to make shoes, I'll bet if you're entertaining enough, somebody pay money for that.
It'll work both ways. So I just got it. It's processed and it's done. It's cobbling time.
It's cobbling time. Nice.
Cobbling time.
Cobbling. We're gonna make that a thing, David.
See, this is another thing too. I highly recommend you guys to be just as
naive, stupid.
Well, yeah, those as well, because it's a lot more fun in life. But creative. Look forward. Get yourself a freaking GoDaddy account.
Yeah.
And when something strikes your mind, go get it. For the $12 that just cost me for the year,
yeah,
it's worth every penny. Because
well,
guess what? I own itscobblingtime.com.
Well, look, here's the thing. There are other people who actually have a career, have a job of buying domains and then reselling them. I can't remember the guy's name, but they actually made a really successful business out of this, and this business drives me crazy. I hate these guys because they actually have an algorithm doing all the work for them. It's called dropcatch.com.
Yeah.
And what Dropcatch does...
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah. So the algorithm, what it does is it knows every major keyword in the world, and it ranks them all. And what it does is it keeps track of all of the best domains according to these keywords and when they're about to expire. And what he does is he's working on hundreds of different servers around the world. And when a domain comes up for sale or for auction, it's basically a democratic system of who wins that domain, unless it actually goes up for auction, in which case they sometimes buy it on auction as well, depending on how good it is. But what he'll do is his algorithm will snatch up all these domains as quickly as possible, and then they'll resell them back for thousands of dollars. And
Yep.
it's a pretty big company. There's a lot of people working for them, but essentially it's an algorithm doing all the work.
Yep.
But guess where this guy started? Hand buying domains and then reselling them.
Yep. So here's just a list of some of the ones I own. I own NikkiMouse.net.
That's a good one. She needs to start that business, by the way. We need to get her.
She does need to get all over that. Because she has a great Instagram following.
Her Instagram following is awesome.
Yeah. I own hippieandthebeast.com.
That suits the both of you very well.
Very, very well. I'm the hippie. No. I can't even joke like that. It really He's thinking of myself as a hippie. But simplylifesafety.com. I own the AmericanGarageClub.com. And here's one that I don't even know that you knew that I own. It's called HappyLittleBeer.com.
I like it.
So I bought HappyLittleBeer.com. And my thought behind that was, the Bob Ross painting. And I was just going to get, more higher blood alcohol content through the painting of a Bob Ross style painting thing. And I thought it would be freaking hilarious. And one of these days I might actually do that.
That would be funny. I would watch it. I'll bet there's a lot of people who'd watch a YouTube channel of a guy drinking more and more amounts of beer as the video goes on while painting the beer that he's holding.
No, I'm going to do the Bob Ross. I've watched too many Bob Rosses. Bob Ross has got me convinced that I can actually do that now.
You love Bob Ross.
Oh, I do. It's freaking awesome.
Fanatic.
So I own pennysbows.com and that spun from when she ran up on stage.
Yeah.
When, I think it was like our first time at the Hofbrauhaus.
Why hasn't she started this business?
She's been busy, being an 8-year-old.
That's a very good point.
Randomfrivolity.com. I bought that. I've owned that one. mycircles.com. That's a website that I own.
Mm-hmm.
That it's based off of. We thought about it through the Google Circles, social media platform.
Look, Circles. I like
Circles within Circles.
I like
which
Google Plus.
I think. Yes, which I think the Google platform, and thinking about it now, is better than any of the other social media platforms out there. Unfortunately, it didn't survive.
Yeah, nobody used it. That was the problem.
Yep. And then I don't know, this one, we may have talked about this one in the past. It's called Jenny'sPleasureBus.com. And then I've got 3 for her, which we talked about earlier. Demon Spiders. Also about the website FlipThatBus.com as well.
Flip That Bus. Look, Jenny, when you start expanding your pleasure bus business, your leisure bus business, Flip That Bus. Look, why couldn't you buy a bus, have a whole video about how you renovate and what you do to it, and then at the end,
just
sell it.
Flip that bus.
Yeah.
Sell it, buy another bus, and flip it. FlipThatBus.com. I got it right there. And then, there's a handful more of the other ones in here that we won't go into. But this one right here, the last one it's Coblin time, man. It's
time. I like it.
If you're a Fantastic Four fan, then you'll get that. You'll get that. It's clobbering time from The Thing.
The Thing. It's the Fantastic Four hasn't had a good movie since ever. So when a good one comes out, they'll get it. But no, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make It's Coblin time, and our mascot might be a big cobbler man that looks like The Thing.
Yeah, or him making a thing that looks 40% different than The Thing.
There you go.
Wearing a shoemaker's leather apron and holding a cobbler, just to confuse everybody.
That will confuse, because it's a cobbler. I get it.
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Somebody just threw up a whole lot of laughy faces for us. I think they were being pitying us.
Well,
I haven't gotten Flip That Bus out of my mind all week. Excellent. See, that's the way it works. Flip that bus.
Exactly, Jenny. We're on the same page. We got to make this happen. Even Shannon Black says, I'll start a spin-off cooking with real life outdoors. Look, Shannon, you could at least do a few episodes of cooking some of the game that you catch. Why not?
Keep talking. There's something I'm going to look up.
Yep. And by the way, Mr. B from YouTube says, what's up? What's up, Mr. B? His image is a banana. So I'm guessing Mr. B stands for banana. I like it. I'll bet you can start. Here's how you can start a whole video.
Oh, he's over on YouTube, huh?
You could start a whole, you could start a whole channel based around bananas, and whole business based around bananas. Because guess what? Bananas, the current, I think it's the Cavendish species that we eat now, it's slowly going extinct. Just like the species that's before this went extinct. Not a lot of people realize that. Very soon, bananas as you know them will not exist.
Yeah, bananas won't exist, but the bananas from 100 years ago don't exist now.
Exactly. We don't even know what bananas back then tasted like because it's a completely different species now. Which is hilarious. Because in 100 years from now, people won't know what today's bananas tasted like. Well, they probably will because we have the science to replicate things now. But still, isn't that kind of crazy?
I want replicators. Come on, Elon, stop this space stuff and get me a replicator.
Right, I want to walk into the kitchen and say, computer, make me a pizza, and just
Yes.
or tea, Earl Grey hot, and it makes it.
Okay, I get that reference, the specific order. Uh, but anyway, Shannon, back to what I was talking to you about a little bit ago. You talking about making a spin-off show with the cooking part of it. There is a knife called the Almazan, Almazan kitchen. And if you go online, Facebook or YouTube, you can look up videos of this person. It's really a highlight of this knife, but they make some of the most outlandish and amazing dishes with that knife. And it's all done outdoors with a wood fire. Very rarely do they have a grill. Very, very rarely, because if occasionally I will go on a diet of some sorts, and I will set up all night. And those are the nights that YouTube and Facebook are like, "Hey, Dave, watch this person cooking this delicious steak." Today, I posted one that was cooked in 300-degree clarified butter.
Ooh.
Oh,
The way the steak
it looked
in butter.
Phenomenal.
The steak was cooked in butter?
Yes. Go onto my profile, look through it, look at the video, and my comment was it was sweet mother of cardiac arrest or something like that. But
was it like
it would almost
in
be
butter?
worth it.
Like, how did they cook this?
Well, it was seared, and then they put it in with some oak to smoke it.
Ooh.
And then they took the pan out, and the oil, which is basically the butter. They poured the butter on top of it, and then they slice this thing off into things, and into small slices of the steak, and they put it on there and just sizzled up. But in amongst all of that, they put these little crispy French loaf bread slices on it. So it was
right. Now imagine Shannon Black,
freaking Homer Simpson over here. Oh.
Now imagine Shannon Black doing this with some venison that he brought,
or he does a lot of fish. Let's go with fish.
Or a fish that he cooked. Like, I would totally watch that, and I'll bet there's a lot of people who'd watch the same thing.
I would.
See, exactly.
I would.
And
so
he also
I don't eat a
says
whole
right
lot
here
of fish.
For some reason that he's
I
never
don't eat a whole lot of fish, but I would love to see some more recipes on how I could do it, especially on a limited basis, because nobody else in my house will eat it at all.
Well, well, that's true too. So, David, I'll tell you this: the way that you get your family to eat venison and rabbit, things like that, is don't tell them what it is until after they eat it.
Dude, I had to tell my daughter we were having pizza subs 4 times a day, and she still complained. Pizza subs. You think okay? They don't eat steak either.
They don't eat steak?
They don't eat steak.
Something's wrong with your family.
I'm with you on that. They don't eat steak. A good pot of pinto beans with some jalapeno up in that bad boy. Oh, I'm all about that. Nope, they won't touch it.
Won't eat beans, huh?
Can't make beans. If I want to make a fried bologna sandwich, I got to take it to the side cart on the grill outside. I am not allowed to make bologna in the house.
You have a gigantic house now. You're the man. You're the king of the castle, David.
I'm the man of the house, and I can sleep on that couch after I piss off
whatever
my wife.
room you want. You go into their bedrooms with a hot plate. You cook the bologna, David.
Oh, I love a good bologna sandwich, but no, it's just there's certain things that they don't like. So so Jenny just posted on here, I watch a dude who films himself camping out with 2 goats.
This is a family show, David.
Jenny.
This is a family.
This is not the kind of stuff we're going to expect from the pleasure bus, right?
He started a business selling these little fire boxes. He uses to cook in the wilderness. And that's true. Look, and you know what? Those little cooking fire boxes, I'll bet they rake a lot of money. Because think of all the campers and their survivalists and the Boy Scout troops and, just random people who are halfway interested in that sort of thing are buying this thing. It may not be his sole job now, but if he keeps up, if he builds this network of interested people within this niche, guess what? That is a big viable business.
So do both goats come back?
Yeah, why the goats? He doesn't eat the goats.
What's with the goats?
Does he?
Does he eat the goats?
He might eat the. I've had goat. It's not bad.
Yeah, me too. It's not good.
I mean, it's not the best. I wouldn't choose to eat a goat.
Or there's some people who love lamb.
I love
It is.
chops. Ooh. You
It
ever had,
is not for me.
a lot of places call them with the lamb lollipops, the little lamb chop.
Oh, okay.
The,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
good. Oh, it's like candy.
Nope. Never. It
So
could just
I have
be
a,
where I've had it from,
yeah.
but I've never had one that I've been like, hey, let me run back and get this again.
Well, so I have a theory. I have a theory. Now, look. This theory might get us kicked off the internet, and we'll likely get a lot of hate mail. But we're already half hour and a half in, so who cares? Um, my theory is the cuter an animal is, the more delicious it is. Because think about it, right? Hamburger, cows are kind of cute. They're delicious, right? Veal, baby cows, super cute. Veal is delicious. Bunnies, super cute,
Dude,
delicious. Lambs,
can you imagine what a Care Bear tastes like?
lambs, super cute, delicious. Now take this to the logical conclusion. Human babies must be the best thing
Dude.
on earth. Yeah, I just
Ladies
said
and
that.
gentlemen, I had no idea that that's where that was going.
It's the logical conclusion.
Underdog Journey does not condone or support
The Underdog Journey does not condone cannibalism. Please don't. Please don't try to eat human babies. I'm just saying, logical conclusion.
All right, what beer are you on?
I've not had that much. That's
So
me
there
noticing
hasn't
the
been a
long show.
comment yet. So either A, it hasn't hit them yet, or there's or they're all just stunned as I am.
I'm just saying, logical conclusions.
No!
I'm not going to say it.
Logical
I'm not going to say it again. But I gave you fair warning that theory might get us kicked off the internet. I'm not
You said kicked off the internet, not a freaking cop out in front of your house in 7 minutes.
I'm not suggesting cannibalism.
Oh, okay.
So we're on a weird tangent. The point is, no matter what your hobby is, you can monetize it and make a real business. Unless your hobby happens to be cannibalism, in which case, don't do it and don't talk about it online.
You can't go from where you were to where you have a hobby you love just after you talk.
Look, if your hobby is cannibalism, first of all, don't. It's not nice. Second of all, don't talk about it online where the world is going to hear you talking about it, because that will get you in some hot water.
You mean boiled?
with a nice Chianti. With a nice Chianti.
I could not hold that one back.
Shannon Black says a whole new meaning to rump roast. Thanks, Shannon. See, somebody gets it.
I don't get it. Oh, sweet.
You think?
And next week they're gonna be like, gentlemen, can you please not talk about cannibalism this week?
Exactly. Maybe this is why we don't have a sponsor yet, David.
It could be. That's all right. I'm a big fan of you only learn 2 things from any person. And it doesn't mean because they teach you one, they can't teach you the other, or because they taught you this one, they can't teach you the first one. And there's only 2 things you can learn from any person in the world at any time, no matter what it is. Jeez, Shannon, you are not helping. Anyway, those 2 things are what to do and what not to do.
What did you learn today?
So most of today, you learned what you can do. In a small little portion, let's not do that.
See, this is why we should limit our show to an hour.
Yes.
An hour?
I think I'm not ready to hop off.
We wouldn't have been talking about...
If you want to be invited to the after show, just do a private message over to the Underdog Journey or Wes or myself, and give us your email address, and we'll see if we can get some people on for the after show. But I think it's about time to wrap it up. I don't think there's any recovering from.
Quit while we're ahead before we get down a really dark path. That'd be a great time.
Before we get down a really dark path.
Well, the Underdog Journey was fun while it lasted.
Jack Kevorkian.
Oh. Ouch.
Hey.
Ouch.
Yeah. So anyway,
are we going to start to bring up
ladies
the
and
euthanasia
gentlemen,
jokes?
I think we have just about cashed this one in.
Yo, yeah. Now's a good time to quit.
Yep.
All right. Well,
On that note, yeah, just send a private message to one of us, preferably West, because he handles most of the setup. We'll take a quick biological break, and if we can, we'll send out some invites for the after show. Wait a minute, what is it you called it? The Gary Vaynerchuk calls it?
oh, the mastermind.
The mastermind. We'll send an invite out for the mastermind.
As you can tell,
So
true masterminds at work here. Exactly. So, with that master in mind, I've been West. This guy over here is David. And together we've been the Underdog Journey. And we do not, for the record, we do not condone cannibalism. So that's a great way to end the show. Might be time to go.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good week. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Later.